Okay, I thought I would do a little bit of commentary here before I play the video. I know I've been posting a couple things about Nexus of Fate. However, tonight I did run into a situation where it took 24 minutes for the game to end from the time I started recording the Nexus of Fate loop counter. It was simply, I was playing Celestia tokens, and they had Nexus of Fate going off with Primal Wellspring quite a bit, and they actually were able to flip to the land, but they got to a point where the emblem with Teferi and then continued with the Nexus of Fate. All the way up to the point where they put down a Chromium, hit me until I was at 1 health, then they sat there and discarded Nexus of Fate with Chromium just so they could cycle Nexus of Fate to make me entirely draw my deck instead of ending the game. Quite a few times they said, good game. This was one of those situations where I was like, you know what, I'm going to start recording this because I have a funny feeling something is going to happen. This card needs to be banned. It is creating a very, very toxic environment for the game. It's not one of those cards that should ever have been printed. It's already been called a mistake by Wizards, and as such, it should be gone. There is talk for Teferi. A lot of people want to see Teferi gone. He is not so bad. It's the package that's around Teferi. There's also Niv-Mizzet, but you take away a lot of that package that's around those cards, and then those cards don't do as well. It's the package in general that is completely bad, but Nexus of Fate in itself creates this loop counter that should not be anything that should ever be welcomed. You know, stuff like with Keyforge, where you have the rule of 6, where you can only loop something 6 times before moving on to another action. This just creates a indestructible ongoing loop. He didn't put down Chromium until he was down to the last couple cards in his deck, so at one point I thought he didn't even have a win condition, and then he put down Chromium and it was like, okay, whatever, I'm done in 3 rounds, but instead he drew it out to the maximum amount of time he could possibly do it, and he even started to cast Chromium, cast Nexus of Fate to continue the loop at the very end when I had no cards, was at 1 hit point. So you kind of sit there and go, come on, man, just end the game. I know I can concede, but why should I have to be the one to concede when they're the ones that have to prove that they can actually win the game? And instead of winning the game, they sat there and purposely slow-played it. They purposely sat there and made something more of the card. And this is what happens with this card. You know, it does come down to, should people have to concede to this card? No. I think people should have to prove that they can win with the card, but this is an inherent flaw with MTG Arena currently, because there's not a way to turn around and do something more with it. Yeah, sure, I can take down this guy's name, submit it to Wizards, but what does that gain us? That just gains someone that gets pissed off because they played a game. It's part of the game. I don't blame the person, I blame the game, not the person. It's an inherent flaw with the particular card, and I think it needs to go because of everything else with it. Like I said, watch the previous videos. I'll try and link them at the end of this so you can see the other ones that I've done. I did one back before rotation even, and I got stuck in the same sort of loop scenario, but now this one's even worse, where they draw it out to the point that it should never have happened. Anyway, if you guys don't mind, take a look at the video. It'll play after the commentary here. I'll try and add some music there so you guys can jam out to it. I have sped it up at 3.5 times the normal speed, so the video in itself is just about 7 minutes long at 3.5 times. So, and you know, I didn't record this from the very beginning of the game. I started recording this when they had the emblem and it's just started going, or just before the emblem was used in it, and he was doing the loop with Primal Spring and Nexus. Anyway, thanks everyone. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. I know this can be, banning of cards can be a touchy topic, and, you know, don't forget, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.